it's really natural with everything that's happened in 2020 to sit and wonder, what is God doing? Why is all of this happening? And we've been through pandemics, riots, and a country that is thoroughly divided over just about every issue. And the question naturally comes for Christians, is God judging us? Is he judging us for something specifically? And as we think through this, I want to pull from three different texts here really to kind of shape how Christians should respond to, is God judging us in any situation, not just 2020. Well, first is Jesus' own words in Luke chapter 13. He's addressing some chaos, calamity, and suffering in his own day. And there's a few individuals, some Galileans, who are killed by Pilate, and there's a tower that falls down and kills some more individuals. And the people are wondering, what's going on here? And Jesus' point is this: those individuals who died were not more sinful than you. But rather, whenever we see anything like this, it is a reminder that we too should repent. That we should repent because we too will die. We too will perish. And this reminds us of another great truth from the Bible, that the wages of sin is death. This whole world is marked by death, and that is the natural consequence, it's the natural judgment from God upon all of our sin. So any disaster, any calamity, whether it's 9/11 or COVID-19 or your mom getting diagnosed and dying from cancer, all of it reminds us that we too will die, that God stands in judgment over and against our sin, and that we are being called to repent of that sin. But it's also very hard to look at a specific judgment or a specific manifestation of that and point it to a direct sin. We need to be very slow to do that. We want to quickly say, well, we're being judged this way because of this sin. But we should only do that if we have really clear evidence or a really clear word from the Lord. The second thing we need to remember goes all the way back to Genesis chapter 3, which I've already kind of alluded to, is this idea that all the world is already cursed. God has cursed this world. All of the world resides under God's judgment for sin. And that's just what we live in. And that brings me to the third text we should factor into here, and that's Revelation chapter 6. In Revelation 6, we're introduced to these characters that are often called the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And I think that's an unfortunate terminology for them, because we want to tie or limit the work of these four horsemen just to a 7-year period at the end of time, whether or not you believe in the literal 7-year tribulation, great tribulation or not. I don't think that these four horsemen are limited to that. And these horsemen bring with them, they bring famine, war, death, and pestilence. Plague, that is. And those things mark this entire age. The entire age of this world is marked by those four things. They're not unique to the end of the world. So sometimes we can feel that tension of this year and be like, wow, Jesus might be coming back soon. And he might be. But those things are natural in this age, in this time, this end of the age, this time before Christ returns and after his ascension, that all these four horsemen mark all of the world right now. And we see it throughout human history, that we are marked by wars, famine, plague, and death. So we put all those together and we say, well, what is the Lord doing? Well, the Lord controls all of history. And 2020 didn't catch it by surprise. And he is directing these things. And he is directing these things as a result of sin in general. And he may even be directing them at specific sins. But it's hard for us in this life to know what those are. But all of this reminds us that our hope is not in this world and that Christ is coming again. That at one time, this age that we're stuck in between here, that one time he's coming back and he is remaking this world, and it will no longer be marked by this curse, by this judgment anymore. And that's what we should be doing here, was we see these judgments of God, at least in sin in general, maybe a specific sin, and it should first move us to look inward, to repent of our own sins, and then to look outward to Christ, longing for his return and that perfect kingdom that will not have death anymore.